Hello, I'm here on Church Street on this very, very busy, noisy Friday afternoon. There's an awful lot going on. There's a lovely lady busker just in front of me. In 2017, Liam Thorpe, political editor of the Liverpool Echo, reported on the problems facing Kensington at that time. He covered prostitution, antisocial behaviour, drug taking, other crimes, but he left out the elephant in the room, which was cultural change. He left that out. He conveniently left that out. All the same, Liam Thorpe covered the problems facing Kensington back in 2017. 2023, the problems are now even more acute. That's the right word, in Kensington and many other parts of the city that are facing cultural transformation. So Liam Thorpe's report in 2017, that should have been a call to the politicians here in Liverpool to deal with the problems facing Kensington and its beleaguered residents, but no, they ignored it. So 6 years on, 2023, as I've said, the problems have got worse, right? They have got to the point where people no longer feel safe in their own homes. I'll leave the screenshot. So are we going to wait, or should I say, are the politicians of Liverpool Echo and Liverpool Echo going to wait another 6 years for the problems to fester more and more in Kensington before they start attempting to deal with it, or are they just going to ignore that? Because what is going to happen, and is happening, is there is going to be a bigger and bigger problem further down the road. One, Liam Thorpe of the Liverpool Echo, the politicians of Liverpool, are not going to be able to ignore. But it's going to be a problem then that's going to be a worse one than what we've got now. So wouldn't it be better, like I've said before, to deal with this issue now, as opposed to waiting another 6 years where parts of Liverpool now are being reshaped into a different type of place? That's going to be even harder, if near impossible to reverse. Because that's what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Street by street, community by community, our city is being culturally changed. It's being transformed into something else. Now, the new arrivals and all the ways, beliefs, values, standards and culture they bring with them, they are not forsaking those cultures. They're keeping them, and those ways. They're keeping... they're abiding to those, and if that's the right word, they're living to those, abiding to that culture, ways, beliefs, values, standards. It's getting really busy now. So, as I've said, as more and more streets and communities are culturally transformed, then they lose their Scouse character, identity and culture. They lose everything that is Scouse. That's what's happening now in Kensington and Fairfield. That's what's happened at the top of Smithdown Road. That's what's happening along Berwick Road, West Derby Road, Shoebrook, Old Swan, Prescott Road, Old Swan, and so on and so on. We see this happening now. So Liverpool at the moment, and most certainly in 6 years' time, will have been reshaped more and more, looking like a different city than it is now. So wouldn't it be better, like I keep saying, for Liam Thorpe, Liverpool Echo, he could highlight it, the politicians could address it, and let's sort this out before it becomes a bigger problem further down the road that can't be sorted out. Because like I've said, the more and more streets, the more and more communities are changed and reshaped into sort of different culture, different ways, beliefs, values, standards. It's going to be near impossible to reverse that. And so on and so on. We will lose our glorious city. This is what is happening. It's not Joe Owens making this up. It's not Scotch mist. It's cultural mist. We can see it happening, right? You'll have to really excuse me. It's getting really, really busy. And like I say, you lose your line of thought on what you're going to say. And remember this, I'm not a professional talker or speaker. I just do this off the top of my head, so bear with me. Sorry for making excuses all the time, but that really is the case, honest. So, what is happening, like I've said, our city has been culturally changed. Street by street, community by community. This is self-evident in Kensington and Fairfield and many other parts of Liverpool, like I've mentioned before. Now, Liam Thorpe and the politicians of Liverpool had the opportunity to deal with this festering problem 6 years ago, and they never. Or are they going to wait another 6 years where the problem is such there is no changing or reversing the transformation that's going to take place? It is really reckless and irresponsible for the Liverpool Echo, Liam Thorpe, and the politicians in particular, to just ignore this problem, because it's going to be a problem of such proportion that the people of this city are not going to forgive you for what you've allowed to happen, right? I speak to people on my way into the city centre. I speak to people in the city centre while I'm walking around. I speak to people on my way home. I speak to people that approach me, watch me videos. I see them everywhere in supermarkets, and people are not happy with what is happening. The politicians, the Liverpool Echo, Liam Thorpe, they are deliberately ignoring what the concerns of the good people of this city. They're ignoring them. They just think that if they ignore Joe Owens, don't listen to him, don't report him in the Echo, just ignore him, it'll all go away. Well, it's not going away. It's going to get worse because it's festering. It's a festering problem that can't go away, right? It's not going away. The amount of people now, as I say, that I encounter give me stories regarding the communities they once called home. It's really, really shocking, right? The new politicians, Liam Thorpe, Liverpool Echo, I've extended my hand to come and join in this discussion with Joe Owens regarding cultural change and the transformation of our city into something completely different. And like I've said before, I'll say again, there are no more Cockney sparrows fly over London, right? London is finished. We can't let that happen to our livelihoods, right? We must oppose this, and we do this by voting for candidates in elections who are credible and who oppose cultural change. Okay, thank you.
What do you think about the narrative at the moment to people crossing the channel? How do you think that we should be tackling the small boats crisis?
I'm quite simple. Refugees welcome.